So I've noticed this trend, and I think the average viewer has too, where content creators often center themselves and their lives in an unhealthy way. It can stem from an over-exaggerated ego or just the tendency to get stuck in one's own head, where someone believes, in a sense, that the world revolves around them.
Oh my god, I really gotta go. What are you doing in the bathroom?
Oh, hi. I'm the new transfer from Liberty High.
What?
I'm the new student here. It's been really tough making new friends, so I'm eating alone in the bathroom.
You've been here for 3 years.
Excuse me?
Also, we asked you to sit with us.
Get the fuck out of the bathroom.
What the hell? Why are you just sitting here? You're missing the party.
Oh, I guess I don't really know anyone here. It's been really hard for me to fit in.
Do you want to come downstairs and talk to people?
No, I think I'll stay right here. I'd rather stay home on a Friday night and read a good book.
But you asked to come here.
In this case, the way social media highlights main characters. And it isn't that hard to get stuck in such a mindset. In social media apps like Instagram or TikTok, instant fame isn't that hard to come by. Just by posting a picture or video gives anyone the chance to go viral, and therefore become the momentary center of attention. There's no way to minimize just how far someone's reach can go, creating a web of people across the world who've seen the same content. Therefore, this spotlight cannot be minimized, and can easily create what we call main character syndrome. Main character syndrome lies in the way people behave based on how they see themselves in the world. They may act like a particular character from media that is a main character, or take on the persona of the ideal main character, the stereotypical main character, if you will. Signs that you may have main character syndrome, as described by the Mile High Psychiatry, is a sense of overimportance, having a constant need for validation, lack of empathy, and having exaggerated reactions. These signs may vary, and signs that other people may have main character syndrome are attention-seeking behavior, dismissiveness, drama creation, and entitlement. Having a lack of empathy means having less understanding and compassion for the people around you. Having overimportance means always putting yourself first and displaying narcissistic traits. Having a lack of empathy means having less understanding and compassion for the people around you. Having overimportance means always putting yourself first and displaying narcissistic traits. These symptoms can potentially isolate you from friends and family, creating a cycle of lack of empathy, isolation, and then not feeling empathy again because you're too detached from others. Now, I can't help but wonder if you've heard this too, when someone believes that they're the only person with a consciousness and that everyone around them are supposed to be side characters or background in their life. This view actually has a term, metaphysical solipsistics, and is defined in short, where one believes that they're the only existing person or reality and all other persons are representations of the self and having no real identities. Solipsistics often argue that any knowledge derived from the social world is ultimately subjective and unreliable. Subjectiveness is more commonly personal beliefs that a person has and based in feelings. This opposes objectiveness, which is based in fact. Now, why do I bring this up? Why is it such a problem that I have to make a video about it? Honestly, it's not that big of a problem when it only affects the person who has main character syndrome and not the people around them. But chances are, it does affect the people around them. When you only see yourself as the most important, one with an actual consciousness, it makes you belittle the value of other people and of life in general. Since there is one you and plenty of background characters, what difference could it make if something happened to a background character? This can also reflect on how people with main character syndrome treat other people. Is it good to prioritize yourself? Yes. Is it important to sometimes put yourself first? Absolutely. It's how we survive. Problem comes when you start to put other people down and make yourself the priority. The problem comes when you don't apply the rules like the law to yourself. The rules don't apply to me. I am the main character. Hey, I'm sorry, but I can't make it to your first baby shower. Oh, that's okay, even though you're my best friend and you're telling me this the day before. I have a hair appointment that day. You have a hair appointment? Is it like a hour-long process? Did it take a while to schedule? No, it's a trim. What? Well, you know, I have to put myself first. I'm sure you understand, although I'm pretty sure you don't. I am the main character after all. Main character syndrome is a part of this wider social media culture where it isn't taken seriously and is supposed to be the norm of how people act on a daily basis.
I don't have a problem with you thinking that you're the main character. Main character syndrome is a great problem to have. The issue comes when you think you're the main character in my story. There's only room for one main character in my story, and you should think the same way. Don't ever let someone come into your life trying to be the main character that you are. And if you feel like you're a side character in your own life, it's time for you to rewrite your story. Period.
This culture is about having control over your life. It feeds on people who feel like side characters in their own lives, or people who feel as if they have no control over their lives. This example is safe in a way. It explains main character syndrome as either being in control, prioritizing yourself, or in a sense, safely obsessing over your life. However, the contradiction lies in when someone else has the same view and tries to impose it on you. All of a sudden, having main character syndrome is good to have for yourself, but bad for other people to have. And while this example was trying to explain while it is good for other people to have as long as they don't impose it on you, that is physically impossible in the mind of a solipsistic to do so. They are the main character and will therefore treat you as a side character like you would do to them. This culture of main character syndrome also includes the contrary, calling out or making fun of people who display behaviors of main character syndrome. Blatantly filming people without their consent to make fun of them for having main character syndrome is a good example of this. Also, a side note, the comments of these videos never defend the person being made fun of, and in the name of having main character syndrome too. You seem self-obsessed, therefore it's okay that I publicly humiliate you. Back in my day, a little bit of humiliation fixed that behavior. After being brutally made fun of online, they never acted that way again. Is this truly the conclusion that we've come to? Publicly shaming people to fix their behavior? I mean, in some of these examples, it's not even main character syndrome, just someone who acts differently. Using main character syndrome as an excuse to harass people is just pathetic. But what about people who actually have main character syndrome? Oh, that's much different. In that case, publicly humiliate them until they act the way you want them to. It always works.